Okay, so showed you that we've manipulated now the roughness, which will vary the shininess of the water depending on the angle. But we need to focus our attention now on the normal, which at the moment we're currently just using the normal here, but we want some variation on there so to give us different ripple effects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just duplicate those three nodes. I'm just going to duplicate. And I'm going to duplicate that again. Duplicate. So we've got two variations of this. Now you just watch very carefully what I do here. So I'm going to take the value from this texture and just wire it up into those two. Okay. But I'm also going to take the blue value. I'll just select this. Take that blue value and I'm going to wire that up to the values there. Oops. Oh, sorry, it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Now let me just get rid of those two nodes. And then I'll wire those into there. As you can see, I wired in the blue into these. Now, obviously, we want variation of these. So what I'm going to do, instead of multiplying them by 2, I'm just going to multiply. That's going to be 0.1. It's going to be 0.2. And when they compile, you see that there'll be a variation of these. And we're also going to add a texture sample, another texture sample, But this time, inside this texture sample, we're going to add that cloud effect which we've got, the smoke tile. I'm going to use this as a mask to vary the variations inside these colours. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll from here use a simple contrast. Simple contrast. In fact, just type in contrast. Cheap contrast, sorry. And I'll explain what this is for. I'll just put a constant in, so constant of 1. Another good tip is if you want to see what a node is doing, if you right click on it, you can go start preview node, and that will show you what it's doing. And what that's doing is it's creating a contrast of black and white. Okay, for this node. So I'm going to turn that off again, stop preview. Okay. Now that's going to be fed into a layer again. So that's an interpolation. And that's going to be fed into here. And those two are going to be fed into this one. And that's going to finish its compound. Then fed into, I just break that node, the normal node, that will be fed into the normal node. And again, that's going to compile to all. Okay, so now we've created the variation to the ripples, and as you can see, we've got ripples that are changing their shape over time as well as moving across the surface, so it's a very random effect, and we've got some nice refraction going on around the surfaces, so I've got a nice looking water texture. Okay, what's great about this is because we've got this is the instance which is changing, we can change the instance very quickly. So if I double click on the instance, so let's say we wanted to change the main color and make it darker, you can instantly see as I change it, we're getting a nice change in the colour of the water, and we notice that the water's moving rapidly. If we do wave speed and just change that down to 0.1, as you can see, we've slowed down, and also we've slowed it down, and also the wave scale, I change that down to a larger amount, down to, let's say, 1.5, and we can see what that looks like. As you can see, probably moving a bit too more slow than what we need, but again, you can change that as much as you want. In fact, it's got a bit too slow there, so I can very quickly go back to that instance. So just go back to instance, and just increase that to 3, and save that. You can see we've got a nice water texture now. Okay, so hopefully you can use that in yours. Okay, so I'm going to just finish off the tutorial. One thing that I missed out is we can add a little bit of metallic value to the water. This is optional, and you can just look at the results to see whether that makes it look any better. So I'm back to the water tutorial material, and there's the results of what we've done so far. And if we go to the metallic, drag from metallic, and we're just going to add a constant. In fact, what I'll do is I'll just make that, I'll convert that to a parameter, call it metallic. Amount. And I'll put in a value of 0.3. Again, you can change that in the instant. And we'll just save that. Okay, so I've added the metallic parameter. I've saved it in the original material, and now I've gone inside the instance, and you can see we've got all these different parameters, and I've just selected the metallic amount, and we can change that amount, and you can decide. I do say 0.3 seems to work quite nicely, and then we'll save that, and then we can have a look at what that looks like over the surface. You can decide which one that you think. So that's effectively the water finished now.